What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know, yeah, you know that this literally does not work. It is after midnight. Just got finished watching the Commanders and the Broncos play. And I have to say that this has been the longest, boringest Sunday that I can remember. Um, the poor Commanders are snake bitten. They came back, tied it up, and lost it overtime. Scored a touchdown and tried to go for two to get the win as opposed to settling for the tie. You know, I have to say, I get it. We got people that are working on analytics that'll tell you should go for it on fourth down. It's got to the point where everybody is constantly going on fourth down anywhere on the field. The fact that the Cleveland Browns going against San Francisco, that they went for it on their 34-yard line. It's not that the 49ers were doing great things, but you gave them a short field two times and they capitalized on both of them. You can't do that in football. It's not like you had a great offense to begin with to think, hey, let's go for it deep in our territory because our offense is unstoppable. And for Washington, you probably should have kicked the extra point and, put on your defense to hold them for 3 minutes and try and come away with the tie. I do not understand why everybody continues to constantly and always go for it on fourth down. I've seen more games in about the last 2 or 3 weeks that literally, when you say, had they kicked the field goal here and they kicked the field goal there, they would have been able to win the game. We're losing games, or teams are losing games, because they're bullheaded. Now we're playing the king of gamble with the Lions next week with Dan Campbell, and we know he doesn't know anything. I think he doesn't actually understand the rules that you're allowed to kick field goals or punt the football, because he always goes for it. Now, on a day where you were hoping that maybe somebody slips up and you get a little bit of help, you really didn't get any help. Carolina won. Now, technically, they're still behind you, and they have their bye week this week. We can stay in front of them if we win against the Lions. The Lions are sitting at the 8th spot in front of us, and we have to hope that we can beat the Lions so we can take their spot. But we still need somebody else to drop out. You got San Francisco, which is doing well, and you got Green Bay, and currently you have the Bears as the number 1 seed. And with the Rams losing, surprisingly, to Carolina, they're the number 2 seed, and the Eagles are the 3 seed. And of course, you've got Tampa Bay with a 6-5 record, I believe it is, in the 4th seed. So there's that. And of course, you have to either hope that one or two things happens. That the that the Bears can beat Green Bay a couple times and they fall, or you have to hope that the Eagles lose enough games that you can catch up to them, and you're a game and a half, in essence, really 2 games behind them. So it's still a tough road to hoe. We can end up winning all of our games and still not make the playoffs. And that's the reality of the Cowboys waiting to make moves. We can praise them right now for what they've done, getting the people together, but it was too late, maybe, to save this season. Bodes well for the future, but right now it's kind of ass. So there's that. We got Trayvon Diggs, who window has been open and probably will be on the roster for this game against Detroit. A lot of people are like, screw that guy. I don't want to see him on the field. But I'm going to go the other direction with that and say it behooves Diggs, who's on his way out of here, to play and show that he can still play. In which case, it's a win-win for the Cowboys and it's a win for Diggs to play well. If he comes back and he's the same distraction and can't play as he did before the injury, it's going to be hard for him to get anything more than a veteran minimum contract. And at this point in his career, I don't think he wants to play for that. So I think that's a good thing right there. The Cowboys, for the most part, are pretty healthy in comparison to most teams. But as we've seen from 1 week to the next, here it is. You know, Matthew Stafford, everybody said was running away with the MVP. All of a sudden, they get beat by Carolina, and he's got 3 turnovers. The NFL this year, more than any other year, has had completely so many different turnovers, so many different changes from week to week. You just don't know. Your head is literally swimming. And teams that were good last year just aren't. You think about Minnesota last year as a 13-win team. They're a complete abomination right now. Justin Jefferson, 2 catches for 4 yards. Justin Jefferson. People, this season is like none other. Now we got the Giants tomorrow night. We'll be live streaming that. We got Hard Knocks on Tuesday. We got the Cowboys on Thursday. The NFL's got what they want, and that is so much turmoil, so much changeover that everything is kind of much watch. Now, I'm tired, and I'm going to bed. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and remember, tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again. Oh. And I love you guys. Peace out.